The Bench book was born out of a poem and a bench that Meghan gave Harry on his first Father's Day. The Duchess of Sussex will today appear on US radio to give her only interview about her children's book. The Bench marks the couple's second Father's Day. The interview recorded before the birth of her daughter Lilibet on June 4. Harry and Meghan's second child also features in the book, which was illustrated before her birth. Meghan's book was published last month. It draws inspiration from Prince Harry and their son Archie Harrison and deals with the relationship between fathers and sons, depicted in quiet moments spent on benches. The Bench is a series of vignettes. Fathers and sons share a bench while they drink apple juice, wait for the bus, look at the stars and put on their shoes. The bench is where they mourn, celebrate and mend their broken knees and broken hearts. Meghan says the poem was inspired by watching her husband and their son, Archie, together. When it came time to turn the poem into a picture book, Meghan asked Christian Robinson, the Caldecott Honor recipient and the illustrator behind Milo Imagine the World and Last Stop on Market Street. It was also a creative challenge. Robinson usually works in acrylics and cut pieces of paper. But for the bench, he made the most beautiful illustrations in watercolors. The poem begins and ends with illustrations from the author's own family. A red-haired father and his toddler are sitting on a bench surrounded by their dogs. But the rest of the book shows all kinds of families, something that was important to both the author and the illustrator. A portrayal Meghan says she particularly wanted to include in The Bench was that of a military family. Years ago she was on a USO tour with a sergeant from Texas. He told me how he couldn't teach his son to play wrestling because he was away, Meghan says. And so he and his son would send that baseball from Texas to Afghanistan and write the date on it. In The Bench, a mother standing at a window weeps for joy, while a father in military uniform greets his son outside. The father threw away his backpack excitedly, and the boy threw down his popsicle to jump into his father's arms. This page is true for him and his family, Meghan says. There are a lot of little moments like this that were personal memories or anecdotes that I wanted to infuse into there, Meghan says. Meghan said that small details in the book her son Archie would be picking up, and subtle nods to late Princess Diana. I think you can find sweet little moments that we hid in there, of my favorite flower, even my husband's mom's favorite flower, forget-me-nots, Meghan said. But even though The Bench is a very personal and intimate poem Meghan wrote for her husband, she says she hopes readers will find her message universal. It's a love story, she says. It's really about growing up with someone and having that deep connection and that trust so that, whether it's in good times or bad, you know you have that person, she says. I really hope people can see this as a love story that transcends my family history. It comes amid claims that Prince William split his household from Prince Harry's following an angry phone conversation over claims Meghan Markle was bullying palace staff in 2018. Claims Meghan Markle bullied royal staff are still being investigated after more than 3 months. The results of the inquiry were expected to be announced in the annual Sovereign Grant Report to be published this week. However, a new report claims that the investigation is ongoing, and the findings are now expected to be made public in 2022. The palace launched the investigation after the Duchess of Sussex was accused of bullying 2 senior staff members. The investigation was launched in March after Markle was accused of bullying at least 2 palace aides during her short tenure as a senior British royal, occasionally reducing staffers to tears and humiliating another. At the time, Buckingham Palace said it would not tolerate bullying and harassment, and was very concerned by the allegations that Markle forced out 2 personal assistants and undermined the confidence of a third. Markle denies these claims and her spokesperson said she's the victim of a calculated smear campaign. The Duchess is saddened by this latest attack on her character, particularly as someone who has been the target of bullying herself and is deeply committed to supporting those who have experienced pain and trauma. She is determined to continue her work building compassion around the world and will keep striving to set an example for doing what is right and doing what is good. New details have emerged about Meghan, Duchess of Sussex's alleged bullying, as Buckingham Palace's inquiry into the new mother's behavior could be delayed until 2022. According to royal expert and author Robert Lacey, Buckingham Palace staff have come forward with more allegations of bad behavior, with one even labeling Meghan a sociopath. William, for his part, felt just as strongly about Meghan and the need for her subversive agenda to be removed from the operations of the British monarchy, which she did not appear to understand or respect, Mr. Lacey reportedly writes in the book. William wished to be separated from Meghan on a day-to-day basis, and that meant being separated from his brother as well. The brothers reportedly had a heated phone conversation about the allegations, which ended with William throwing Harry out of their shared household at Kensington Palace. Lacey also wrote that even though most of the staff of the royal family stays for years, the personal staff of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex desperately looked for a way out. The new and damaging details couldn't have come at a worse time for the warring brothers, as Harry is poised to return to the UK in a week's time for the unveiling of Princess Diana's commemorative statue, on what would have been her 60th birthday. Many people assume that if Princess Diana hadn't died, there'd be no war between Harry and William and she'd be remarried and living in the US. Royal experts have also urged warring William and Harry to set aside hostilities and turn their attention to honoring their late mother. The country should come together to remember Princess Diana and ignore any lurid revelations threatening to overshadow events to mark her 60th birthday, Essex-based Conservative MPs have said. Writing in today's Sunday Express, former BBC royal correspondent Michael Cole declares that Diana would be so distressed to see her sons still at loggerheads, adding that their feud would have shocked her, because she brought them up to love each other. Royal author Margaret Holder added that Diana would want them to find common ground, at least for her grandchildren's sake. She would have made her peace with Charles and the royal family, and concentrated on making the world a better place. Uniting her sons should be her lasting memorial. In other royal news, the Queen and Prince Charles pay touching tributes to Prince Philip on Father's Day. Queen Elizabeth was one of the first royals to remember Philip, with the official royal family Instagram page sharing a black and white picture of Elizabeth with her father, King George VI, and a young Prince Charles. The photo shows the Duke of Edinburgh watching the prince sit on a statue at Balmoral alongside Queen Elizabeth II and her father, King George VI. The royal family's Twitter account tweeted today, "To all dads everywhere, we wish you a very special Father's Day." Prince Charles also shared a picture of his father, the Duke of Edinburgh, on Sunday. The official Twitter account of the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall tweeted 4 pictures, one of a very young Charles with his father, another of Camilla and her dad, and one of Charles and his 2 sons, Prince Harry and Prince William. The tweet read, "To all papas everywhere, and to those who may be missing their dads today, we are thinking of you and wishing you a special #Father's Day." William and Kate showed off their social media savviness with a video that included pictures of the father figures in their life popping up on the screen. From the late Prince Philip surrounded by his great-grandchildren and Prince William with his 3 children, to Prince Charles and Kate's father, Michael, they were all included in the cute clip. The shot of a beaming William with his 3 children, George, Charlotte and Louis, is adorable as all 3 have their arms wrapped tightly around the proud papa. The royal family are showing how they're just like any other family on Father's Day as they pay tribute to all the dads in their lives.
Thank you for watching. If you liked, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates. We will update the latest videos about the royal family every day. Thanks and goodbye.